Top 5 headphones under $500. Let's get into it. So this list is not going to be super cheap to super expensive. This isn't a list of the things you should go and get under 100 or anything like that. There will be things like that in the future, but this is what I think are the best of the best under 500. So nothing super ultra budget in here, but a few that I think are really going to surprise you guys, and one that's probably going to piss a lot of people off. So let's get into it. Oh, hey, also, Josh just made a video on the same thing. So if you want to check that out, I will put his channel at the link in the video description, because I'm sure anybody who's seen this knows who Josh is. All right, I'm going to call you back in a minute. So the first thing on my list is the DT880 600 ohm. Now there's several other revisions of this, but the 600 ohm version is around $170-ish on Amazon, and it's fantastic. It is not an exciting headphone, but it's very detailed. Now it's worth noting, if you get this, you're gonna need a lot of power to drive it. Something like an Atom will do the trick, but a lot of amps out there really struggle to push this thing. It leans a little bit on the warm and bright side, but not big thumping bass, not crazy big sound stage. It's just a more analytical headphone with a lot of detail and very good imaging. The next thing on my list is the Modhouse Argon. I'm sure this isn't a surprise to a lot of you guys. I've been talking about the Argon for a really long time, but the Modhouse Argon Mark III with the lambskin pads is absolutely wonderful. Now this is not an analytical headphone. This is the exact opposite of the DT880. In fact, it's really bassy and has a lot of soundstage, but it's fun. It's great for gaming. It's a closed back and it's a super enjoyable headphone. Also hard to drive though, like the DT880s are. The more powerful of an amp you can give this thing, the better it's gonna sound usually. The next one on my list is gonna piss off a lot of people, but I have a review coming out on it really soon, which by the way, there's the 880. There's the Argon. These are the Airpod Pro. I have the regular AirPods over there. I think they don't sound very good, but these, the Pros, the in-ear ones, these are something special. And I have a full review on them from an audiophile's perspective coming in the near future. They're not perfect, but man, the convenience of these things. The whole point of being into this hobby is to listen to music all the time. You love listening to music, and these make that really easy and enjoyable. So I'm not gonna say much more than that, but you should stick around, you should subscribe, because I will have a video on these very soon, and go into it with an open mind. It'll be really surprising. Now the last two on my list I think are kind of tied for which one I think is the best under $500. And I have an honorary mention after that at the end, but we have the 6XX. This is the Massdrop collab. It's basically the same thing as the HD650. I use this headphone on a daily basis. It's absolutely fantastic. It's been time tested. People have loved this headphone for near as long as I've been alive, and I still use it all the time. It has pretty narrow soundstage. It doesn't have a ton of sub bass. In fact, it's a little bit warm sounding, a little bit rolled on both ends, but there's something about the way this headphone stages, or something about the way it images, or something about the way that it has vocal intimacy and very good resolution in the mid-range that just sets it apart from everything else. And the big thing that I've noticed is this headphone sounds like whatever amp you plug it up to. If you plug it up to a bright solid state amp, it's gonna sound bright. If you plug it up to a warm tube amp, it's gonna sound warm. It mimics what the source is. And for that, it's a very interesting headphone that you can use for years and years without getting bored of it. And lastly, and actually the only one I don't currently have in this room or on my desk right now, is the Sandara. This thing is ridiculously good. It's a very analytical headphone like the DT880, and I do wish the pads were a little bit larger on the interior diameter, but it's built well, it's extremely fast, extremely detailed, has great staging, great imaging, and all across the board is a super solid headphone with decent extension on both the bass and the treble. Now I'm kind of tied between that and the 6XX for which one is my favorite under $500, but I think anything on this list you could get and be very happy with for a very long time, because all these headphones are things that I've used for years and absolutely loved, with the exception of this one, which is a bit more of a recent addition. But like I said, you'll see a video on that soon. Now I do have an honorary mention. That is the DT 1990, and that I say honorary mention because it just doesn't fit under $500. It's like $550-ish on Amazon, and if it was $50 cheaper, if it was right at $500, that would be my #1 go-to, DT 1990, because that headphone is insane for the price. So if you're looking for something right at $500, say $50 more, get the DT 1990, but anything under that, there you go. There's my opinion. There's what I got, guys. So if you like this video, please leave a like down below and a comment. Let me know what you want to see in the future. If you want to get active in the community, you can at forum.hifiguides.com. And as always, don't forget to stick around and subscribe for more videos like this one. Until the next one, guys. Peace.